Hello and welcome to another edition of Around the Ice on Fantasy and Frames. I'm your host JT, along with my buddy Toast. Aaron Tomatich had dad duties tonight, had some things he had to do, so he could not make it. We are on Thursday night instead of Tuesday night. Sorry about that. Illini basketball Tuesday night. Don't hate us. Toast was at the game. Huge win for the Illini over Texas Tech in a big top 15 matchup. We like hockey, we like college basketball, we like NFL football. We like everything, right, Toast? We're all over the place. We're fandom is huge, so we apologize, but we're here. Thursday night, late edition. We're gonna put a quick one in for you here. Toast. Let's real quickly. Let's go. Let's go around the ice, right? Let's see what we got going.
The good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
So, Toast, some pretty good games tonight. Good action. My Wings, I don't know what to tell you about them. Some nights they look phenomenal. Other nights they look terrible. Can't figure it out. They just beat the red hot Anaheim Ducks 6-3 tonight at home. Really good win. We got 4 other games in progress. A bunch of other games we'll talk about have finished. Anything standing out to you tonight on everything that's kind of happened? It's been a great start of the season. A lot of parity this year, I feel like.
Yeah, a ton of parity. And speaking of your Wings, JT, and from a fantasy angle, Alex DeBrincat gets 2 goals tonight, 6 shots on goal as well. Mort Sider actually gets on the scoreboard. They've been quiet. They've been kind of quiet, those, especially DeBrincat. He hasn't been awful, but he's been a little bit more quiet. But Patrick Kane's actually back in the lineup. And, actually Kane's with 2 assists there as well, tied to DeBrincat. I do think that DeBrincat, for him to actually be effective, not only from a hockey perspective, but a fantasy perspective as well, is going to need a healthy Patrick Kane with him. I'm not saying go out and actually get Kane and actually add him to every single team, no matter the format, but it is going to have a very positive impact on Alex DeBrincat, and I think the best is yet to come for him. But man, they really did it tonight with the defense, JT. Only gave up 17 shots on goal, and really, that's the best way for the Wings to actually win. The best way to market is to limit the shots on goal, protect the goaltending that can be suspect at certain times, and the Wings are going to be in good shape. That's a big, big win tonight versus a really, really good young Anaheim Ducks team.
And if you're in a Bangers league that counts penalty minutes for points, Edvinsson crushed it tonight. 14 penalty minutes for him for the Wings. I've got him in our Bangers league. I'll take those points. Nice night for him. 1 hit, 3 blocks, 1 shot on goal, and 14 penalty minutes, which is pretty much more than double he had all year coming in this game. So I'll take it. But yeah, nice win for the Wings at home. They've been up and down. Anaheim. I mean, let's just. I know this is a loss for Anaheim, but let's talk about them for just a minute. I know we talked about in the pre-season show, and Aaron was like, I really think Anaheim's going to make the playoffs. And we both were like, I think they're a sneaky team. I wasn't 100% behind that. I'm like, I think they're sneaky good and they could be in the mix. But Aaron's like, I think they make the playoffs. I'm putting a bet in on them making the playoffs. And right now, 11-5-1. Anaheim has looked really, really good. I know Gail in our home league is trying to get McTavish off me. I'm desperately trying to hold him off. He's like, I want him. I need him. I want him bad. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know if I can give him up. But this team feels like it's 2 years ahead of where we thought they would be. Like, we knew this was like kind of a rebuild, kind of get it together, but this team has been pretty freaking good so far.
Yeah, and the reason why they're a couple years ahead of schedule, JT, is because their best players are 19, 20, 21, and 22 years old. And, you're just like, they're not ready yet, right? And then Lucas Dostal in goal, who is super young as well. You got a 25-year-old, which is super young for a goalie. But Leo Carlson, 26 points in 17 games. That's top 5 in the league as well. And Cutter Gauthier, 12 goals, but man, a whopping 77 shots on goal. That is a ton of shots on goal to 17
Shoot that
games
puck.
as well.
Just shoot that puck, right? Just all day, every day. Just keep shooting.
I'm surprised that Troy Terry and actually Leo Carlson can actually have a chance to shoot the puck, considering he shot so much, which is just fantastic, really. And then Beckett Seneca, again, 12 points in 17 games as well. And so everybody, the hype is real. And even guys like Jacob Trouba are actually having a resurgence there as well. Trouba actually comes over last year from New York and actually comes into Anaheim. And honestly, Trouba's been a stud for defense, especially in bangers leagues. He's got 12 points in 17 games, 29 shots on goal. But again, 46 hits, 39 blocks. Like, I went and made a trade. I traded my brother, Josh Norris, the often injured Josh Norris, straight up for Jacob Trouba because I needed some bangs. And Norris is a hell of a player when he's healthy. That's the key, is if. And that's really been working out good for me. I think it's going to work out good for him. But Trouba, a resurgent year. And, man, the Ducks are a lot of fun to watch.
Man, I tell you what, if you are anything like me, you, and Aaron, we love our West Coast late night hockey. That's when you get in the basement, make yourself a drink, cuddle into the chair, the couch, the lazy boy. You watch some late night West Coast hockey. This might be one of the best years in a long time to watch late night hockey. Anaheim is putting it together. San Jose is super exciting to watch. The Kings are solid. I mean, we're getting to see some really nice hockey late night, and especially because there's so many young studs on these teams. Kings again with another win over the Maple Leafs tonight on the road in OT, 4-3. They're 9-5-4 now. Really nice win for them. Right, the other games we got going on, we'll talk about Blue Jackets. Really nice win at home tonight. 5-4 over the Oilers. Stars continue to look like one of the top teams in the league. If they can get together in playoffs, 7-0 at Montreal, which was a pretty huge win. They were plus 100 in that game. They won 7-0 in that game. Senators 5-3 over the Bruins. And Panthers 6-3 over the Capitals. Two teams leading their division last year. They're both just right around 500 this year. Other games going on right now. Calgary 1-0 over San Jose. Heading into the third. Colorado Buffalo. A little surprise here. Colorado a minus 425 in this game. Mm-hmm. It's 3-3 right now with 5 minutes left in the second. High scoring game. The over-under was 6.5. It's already at 6 with 5 minutes left in the second. Islanders a shocker up 1-0 right now on Vegas. At Vegas, they were minus 190, about 2 minutes left in the first. And then Winnipeg, Seattle tied 1-1, 3:50 left in the first there. Winnipeg minus 150 on the road. Toast, any of those teams that you want to talk about, what are you seeing? Expectations, high, low, players are popping out early in the season for you?
The Oilers are in trouble. They're in trouble. They're not that good. And we all know they've been top heavy. Luckily, they're actually getting a lot of production from a guy like Jack Roslovic, who is probably available in most leagues, 43% rostered. But I wouldn't be going out and getting Jack Roslovic, who has 12 points in 17 games and 41 shots on goal just yet, because Zach Hyman's actually going to get back in the lineup and be really hunting Roslovic down the lineup, and Hyman's going to make his season debut on Saturday, and they miss him a ton. But this is a team that actually has a hard time defending. This is a team who has awful goaltending. I dropped Stuart Skinner in our dynasty league. I'm done with you. Don't need you anymore. Don't care that you're only 27 years old or 26 years old. Makes no difference. You're off the team. It's like one of those things where I had to go into the locker room and say, hey, we decided to go in a different direction, JT. And, he cried, a little bit, but I'm like, hey, I don't have time for you. But as a team, they're in trouble. They don't have it all together, and man, you got to wonder if McDavid, they're like, he gives them the hometown discount for the 2-year deal, $12.5 million per, just to kind of give them one more shot to kind of get some other players in here, utilize the cap, and actually go for it a couple more times. I just wonder if he's actually having a little bit of remorse doing that, considering like they just don't look like a team that's going anywhere fast.
Yeah, it seems like they're a team that you want to think is a favorite all the time, but you look at them the way they're playing, you're like, it's just not pretty. Even when they're winning, it's like, ugh, they just barely got by that game. Roslovic, me and you have had him on a number of dynasty teams. Your suggestion would be pitch him to someone right now, right? Like try to trade him immediately, even if you take a little bit of a hit. Like if you look at the value right away and you're like, ooh, I'm taking a little bit less, do it right now because you think his value is going to fall pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. So last 10 games, JT, 5 goals and 1, 2, 4, and 6 assists, 11 points in the last 10 games. He's averaging in that time, what I'm actually looking at here, about 20 minutes a night on ice, and really getting anywhere between 2 and 3 shots on goal a night as well, and getting plenty of power play time as well. But that's Hyman's spot. And so I just don't really actually see Jack Roslovic, of all people, as good as serviceable as he's actually been here, really having the role he's actually had to before. So if I'm fantasy owners, I'm maybe shopping Jack Roslovic now. Maybe you can actually be sneaky and actually get him in there and actually, get somebody of value for him while you can, because I would imagine the production is going to drop off here.
I just noticed Graves was in goal tonight. That's a win for me and
times,
you. We got Graves in a league.
3 straight nights in goal, which is
that's nice. We will take that out of Graves. So all you out there, if you're looking for a goalie to pick up, someone to stream, Graves has been pretty solid lately for the Blue Jackets. Me and Toast have him on a few leagues. After a really rough start, and I'm going to talk about one of your favorite teams here, the Senators seem like they're finally getting into a rhythm. 9-5-4, 5-3 win tonight over the Bruins at home. They feel like a different team without Chucky in the lineup, right? But they're like trying to get it together. Some of these younger guys starting to put it. This team has so much talent. We just keep looking at them every week and like, is this the week they finally get together? Finally get Stützle, 2 goals and assists tonight. One of our favorite players. It feels like this team is finally getting together. What do you think about where Ottawa's at right now?
This is a great sign. Because you lose a player like Chucky, and you think, boy, this season's actually going to be over, and it's going to be over pretty quick. But they're righting the ship, and I think this is time for Tim Stützle to actually take his game to another level, which we've always thought he could. And he's got that type of talent, and of late, man, he's really, really been doing it. Getting a ton of time on ice, close to 20 minutes a night on the season, and he's got in the last 10 games, he's actually got 5 multi-point games as well. So he's leading that team right now. And that's kind of the leadership that Brady Tkachuk actually need when he gets back, for somebody to actually help do the heavy lifting. Not saying that Stützle has actually been bad in his career. Actually, he's been really, really good, but I think he's got a whole nother level. And then you actually got journeyman and like a surprise guy like Michael Amadio. If you actually look at Michael Amadio, I've been watching the statistics sheet of late. JT, do you even know who the hell that is? Points in 8 of his last 9 games. I'm like, who's this guy? But
no clue. Didn't even know who he was.
Yep. And he's only 6% rostered on Fantrack. 6%, right? So he's a guy you definitely want to stream, especially if you can catch Ottawa next week on a good schedule. We'll need to look at that before this show's over. But I love what Ottawa is doing. Drake Batherson's actually been taking his game to another level as well. He's been super good of late. And Dylan Cousins, who they actually traded Norris for to Buffalo, fitting in just fine. So this is a good team. It really, really is. It comes down to, man, the goaltending. Linus Ullmark, is Ullmark actually going to be the guy who they can actually trust this year? You know what? He has not been good. 870 save percentage, 321 goals against average as well. They've been actually playing Merlinen as well. The goaltending has been spotty at best. They got to get better goaltending.
I want to say, let's just talk about real quick the Pacific Division. This division is a shocker right now. A shocker. I know it's early in the season, guys. So we're talking about where we're at currently. Anaheim in first place with 23 points. Wow. LA second with 22 points. Edmonton in third with 20. And right behind them, Seattle with 19, San Jose with 19, and Vegas, who we loved in this division, at 18 points, then Vancouver 17 and Calgary with 10. This right now has to be the most shocking division in hockey. Like we toast, didn't we? We thought Vegas for sure in this division, Edmonton probably coming right behind them. We kind of thought like LA would be in the mix. Anaheim, we're like, ooh, they're a sleeper. The fact that San Jose and Seattle are 1 point behind Edmonton right now, with Anaheim in first and LA in second, and Vegas all the way down in sixth, is pretty unbelievable right now. Shocking to start the season for hockey.
Yes, Vegas is banged up. They're actually missing Mark Stone. Shocker. Mark Stone's been out. I mean, but the guy is just a machine and on fire when he's in there, but he can never stay healthy. The 33-year-old is he's banged up again week to week. William Karlsson's actually week to week as well. And then a goalie, Aiden Hill, has actually been injured as well. And when he actually has not been injured, he hasn't been any good. They've been actually relying on Akira Schmidt as well, which is really shaky at best. So you got guys like Barbashev stepping up, and Barbashev's been really good. He'll get you a bunch of hits. He doesn't shoot the puck a lot, but he's actually scoring 16 points in 16 games as well. And it actually, even guys that have been proven over the years, or even taken more of a step up, like Tomas Hertl has had a good season as well. And Hertl, Barbashev, only 75% rostered. He's sneaky. He gets first line deployment, top power play as well. I really like him. And if you're really actually wanting to get a guy who actually bangs, you can get a defenseman as Caden Korzak as well. And 24-year-old young guy, does a little bit of everything with the PIMs, hits, blocks as well. But he's got a couple goals of late. Again, they're a total team. They're really good, but they're just injured right now. But you're right, JT. This is definitely the most surprising division in all of hockey. And when you say surprising, because Vegas actually being down there and Edmonton actually not really playing at the par, but you got two young teams in Anaheim and San Jose. And look at what San Jose has actually done of late. They've been really solid of late right here. I wanted to look back at their games here, and they've had some big wins here recently. Winners of 5 of their last 6 here, and Colorado 3-2, Seattle 6-1, Winnipeg 2-1, Florida 3-1. So you beat Colorado, Winnipeg, and Florida, and basically beat Minnesota on Tuesday 2-1 as well. They're getting really good goaltending from Askarov, and this team and Anaheim and Chicago, those are the youngest teams in the league, and man, they're actually surprising a lot of people. They're coming fast.
I got a buddy who just got tickets for the first time for hockey, lives out in California, got San Jose Shark tickets. I'm like, He goes, JT, what do you think? I said, I don't know how many games they're going to win, but it's going to be an exciting team. I'm like, they're young, they score goals. And he's like, oh, this team's kind of good. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I didn't think they were going to be this good. They're off to a great start. We're going to get into some of the scorers in the league here, Toast, because we've got some shockers at the top of the list this far into the NHL season. Possible trade for you here, Toast. See what you think.
Okay.
John Martini jumps in and says, I'll trade you Roslovic for Bedard straight up. What do you say?
Hey, John, I'll text you after this. We can actually discuss it. I'll have to sleep on it, but you know what? You made us have something there. So John's always really good for fair trade offers. He's always very, very fair. All of his trade offers always make a ton of sense. So I'll have to really, really consider it. But John, maybe you could trade me Celebrini and I could give you like Anders Lee. How about that?
That might work out. That might be the deal there. So Roslovic, I do think he's a good move. Bedard, maybe not so much right now. Toast, let's talk about this right now. That game last night, for anybody who didn't watch it, that Hawks Devils game was wild. That felt like playoff hockey. That game was back and forth. The just the energy in the building. Just sitting watching it on TV, I could feel the energy. It was wild. That felt like playoff hockey, which we didn't think we'd see at all for the Blackhawks in a long time. Connor Bedard. We knew he was good. We liked him a lot. But talk about just going the next level. 1 year into his career, he looks so much bigger, so much faster, so much more physical. This guy's crushing it. I think he's number 1 or number 2 in the league in overall scoring right now. We didn't. I don't think any of us saw this coming. We knew he'd be good. I don't know if we knew he would be this good this fast.
Yeah. So you hit it on the head, JT. He appears to be bigger. And he's always had a really big lower body, like almost like tree trunk legs type of thing. But he's got more size. And the biggest thing when you actually watch him on the ice, to me, is he's faster. He's a heck of a lot faster than he was last year. He really worked on his speed in the offseason. And the compete level is really off the charts. So now he's actually got that confidence on the ice that he actually had in juniors. He's now actually using that at the NHL level. The passing, the hands, the quick hands are really unbelievable as well. It's all coming together for him. He is the leader of that team. I would imagine that he's got to be wearing the C next year for sure. But Bedard is on an unbelievable streak right now. And some people may end up saying Bedard, like he's maybe overachieving a little bit because like the Corsi numbers, is only basically, and Corsi really is, is your team controlling the puck more often than not with this player on the ice in this situation. He's at 44% for the season. You like to see your players above 50. But again, this is a young Hawks team. We're actually looking, they're learning how to win. And thank God they actually have Spencer Knight to keep them in games, because Spencer Knight, that's another player that if you drafted Spencer Knight this maybe as a second or a third goalie, thinking he might be able to get you some volume starts, he's in the Vezina conversation. Spencer Knight's maybe been the top 2 or 3 goalie in the entire league early on, and what a great young player the Hawks actually got. But yes, Connor Bedard is definitely different right now, JT, and you actually mentioned it. He's stronger, he's faster, and he's actually arrived. He's a superstar in this league.
When Spencer Knight got traded to the Blackhawks, I immediately texted you and I was like, I freaking love that move. I was like, that's a great trade. I'm like, that's a freaking great trade. We have him on a number of rosters, and we did. We took him as like our second or third goalie, and he has literally been staying on his head. He has been phenomenal. Spencer Knight, if you don't have him fantasy, go out and get him. Go out and get him. He's been great, especially in leagues that give you pretty high points for saves. His saves are through the roof this year. Even when he's not getting a win, he is literally playing out of his mind. He's been fantastic. And Toast, I was going to say, if we want to break down scoring so far this year in the NHL, right now, Nathan McKinnon leading the league coming into tonight's games, 32 points. All tied for second. Macklin Celebrini for San Jose, Leo Carlson for Anaheim, Connor Bedard from Chicago. 20 years old, 19 years old, 26 points out of every one of those guys. 1 point ahead. All 3 of them, 1 point ahead of Connor McDavid right now. That's insanity. Now, will they keep up that pace all year? That's asking a lot. That's asking a lot for young guys to like go through the whole grind of a season. But I don't care. Right now, I'm freaking impressed, Toast. I mean, that Celebrini, Carlson, and Bedard have absolutely lit it up early on. We all thought these guys would be good. I don't know if anybody thought they would be like this good this fast. I mean, these guys aren't even 21 yet. It's wild.
Yeah, and the reason, JT, why I don't think any of us actually thought they'd be this good, this fast, is the fact that each one of them are actually on teams that are in rebuilds. All three of them, right? And they're still all three in the middle of rebuilds. Now, some may argue that Anaheim is basically out of that rebuild, right? And this is their first year of really competing, and they're actually their record shows that. And all these teams actually have good records, especially, but San Jose and Chicago are still, I would say, in the last year of their quote unquote rebuilds. And the next year is when they really go out. They spend some free agent money. They both have tons of money under the cap. They got more young talent actually coming into the pipelines because they got the first and second best farm systems in all of hockey as well. So that's the most surprising. It's not surprising that like these guys are unbelievably talented and they're doing good because we expect that, but they're doing as well as they are with, put it this way, maybe not as a great of a cast around them as other stars in the league, and they're actually doing it, which is just unbelievably impressive. So this is going to be a fun season, JT. And I'm like pissed now I actually didn't at least draft Leo Carlson in our dynasty draft 2 years ago when I had the chance. But at least I got Bedard.
Yeah, I honestly was looking at this in a couple of our leagues. I saw where Bedard went, and I was like, I kind of think we were underrating Bedard, which is hard in our group of friends because we have so many Blackhawks fans.
Yeah.
You think you could go even higher, but like I think people were like semi-realistic, like, yeah, they're still kind of rebuilding. He's gonna be good, but it's gonna be a couple years before he's like legit good. Well, we underestimated that. So he has been fantastic. Celebrini, I mean, I'm so pissed I don't have him on any team because he, oh my God. Dude, he's looked great. Tell me you saw that backhanded reverse like spin goal for McDavid the other day. That thing was insane. You're gonna have to look it up. He literally did a 360 and then shot backwards without looking and went top shelf corner. It was wild. You're gonna have to look it up. One of the craziest goals I've ever seen. Went down on a guy, 360 spun, shot it back, not even looking at the goal, hit it. Wild.
Yeah,
have to look.
The Patrick Kane spinorama. Yeah, it was a spinorama goal.
I'll have to send that to you. Toast, it's time to get into Around the Ice Listener League. Let's do a little update.
It's Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
So for a Listeners League, Aaron Tomatich not on tonight. He would be boasting big time, so we're going to skip over him real quick. He's 5-0. Boo, boo this.
Boo.
He's 5-0. Toast 4-1. King McCarr 4-1. Pucky Puckerson, who just rolled me 2 weeks ago, also 4-1. Tied for second in the league. Jeff Dealer 3-2. Carving up the ice, Brian Douglas is 3-2. I have struggled here a little bit early. You know why? I have probably too many Wings players on my team. Shocker. And
Shocker.
So when they play great, I win. When they do not play great, I'm losing right now. So I'm going to have to make some moves for sure in the league because I noticed I was like, we don't start that many guys that have like 5 or 6 Wings players on my team. I'm like, this is too many. Too many. So I need to make moves. I'm 2-3 right now. And our buddy, Jorge.
Yes, Jorge.
Off the schneid. Jorge gets his first win ever in fantasy hockey. 1-4. Jorge coming back. He's supposed to be heading to Pittsburgh for a wedding this weekend. I hope he has a great time. Congratulations, Jorge. 1-4. Finally gets a win. Plenty of time to come back. If fantasy football season has taught me anything this year is you have plenty of time to come back. I had some horrible starts in a ton of leagues, and now I'm top 3 in a lot of them. So he's got room to roam there. Some of our top scorers in our league right now, McKinnon, 14 goals, 15 assists, 71 shots on goal. averaging 7.36 fantasy points per game. We just talked about him, Leo Carlson. Man, Anaheim, 15 games, 10 goals, 15 assists, and 30 shots on goal. The shocker right now, Toast, in our league, Bo Horvat. Sorry, thank you. Horvat for the Islanders, 16 games, 12 goals, 8 assists, 55 shots on goal, 12 hits. He's number 6th. He's 6th overall right now in scoring in our league. I know we've had him a couple times over the years, especially when he was on Vancouver. Kind of shocker to see him that high up there, especially with the Islanders, who have not been fantasy friendly the last couple years. Give me your breakdown so far where we're at here on the Listeners League for Around the Ice Fantasy and Frames.
Well, and I'll say I got shares of Horvat in 3 of my. I have on 5 leagues. I got 3 on 3 leagues. I have him, and man, Horvat has been really, really solid. He's got a couple more assists tonight as well. And Matthew Schaefer, another goal. He's got 6 already. The kid's 17 or 18 years old. It's unbelievable what he's doing. But I just love the fact that in this Listeners League, Leo Carlson 3rd in points. Macklin Celebrini 4th in points. Cutter Gauthier 6th in points. Bedard 7th in points as well. So I mean, all the young cats up top showing themselves. But I think Bo Horvat is definitely the surprise guy in this format, which is really it's a bangers. It's an ultra bangers league, and where we start 1 goalie as well, 3 defensemen. We got 2 centers, 2 left wing, 2 right wings, a couple of utilities, and really, Bo Horvat is actually the surprise guy up there. He probably had an ADP JT, I'm guessing, of somewhere around 100. He's probably an 8th, 9th, 10th round guy, and for him to actually be producing like this, it's very, very nice to see, man. But the story of the year has been young talent and all the new guard coming in, man. But guys like Kucherov, guys like McDavid, and even guys like Austin Matthews, all of them collectively have kind of got off to slow starts for them to start the season. We'll have to kind of see if they have something to say about that as the season goes on, because these young guys, you would imagine they're going to have a little bit of a dip at some point, right? It's a long season. It's hard to actually sustain that type of momentum. They're being asked to carry their young teams at such a young age, which is a lot of responsibility. You just wonder if they can keep that up. So I would expect it to average out a little bit and even out. And guys like Kucherov and even Braden Point on Tampa Bay, they've done very little for them so far. Watch them to have a 2-week period where they just absolutely explode. So if you can actually buy low on, let's say, Kucherov, or even like Braden Point, people like that haven't done a whole lot yet, go get them now, because their metrics under the hood actually look really, really good too. They're just not actually getting the puck in the net.
Agree completely. Let's hit into home league and overall fantasy hockey.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
So home league here, we've had some trades. You made a move. You've been twisting my arm, working me for a trade here in the home league. And we got the home league. Also, we're in a couple other leagues together. A few of them were co-owners co-managers, but a few were headed against each other. So let's talk about some trades going down. You mentioned Schaefer earlier. Our buddy John McGlynn made a trade for Schaefer. He texted me. He's like, "What do you think? I like him. I think he's gonna be really good." And he asked me like, "Who should we trade? Who should we make a move?" I was like, "Ask for a little bit more." Blah blah blah. Made a really good trade with Gale. Gale got the higher end guys. He got them. But then I'm like, after the trade happened, as things started coming up like together, I'm like, I think Schaefer's way better than I thought he was going to be. Like, this guy looks amazing. He is so good right now. And I'm like, John, you might have hit like payday with him on that trade. Talk a little bit about where he's at this year for a guy, rookie, top pick. But honest, he has looked phenomenal so far.
Yeah, what he's doing is never happens. Let's just say that. Never actually played a day in the AHL. Comes straight into the league. Doesn't miss a beat. Again, up to 6 goals. For a defenseman as well, he's almost looking like that type of Cale Makar type of player, which is crazy to say, especially on an Islanders team that really isn't known for their offense and is putting up a god awful amount of offense. And I don't know where they would actually be without him, which is crazy to say for a 17 or 18-year-old kid. I mean, so let's just say it's unprecedented, right? It never actually happens. But let's review that trade that Gale and McGlynn actually made here earlier in the season. This actually happened back on Monday, October 27th. So it's been about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks so far. But Gale gets Braden Point and Travis Konechny, and this is a Ultra Bangers Dynasty League, okay, where we count hits, blocks, PIMs, of course, goals, assists, shots on goal as well, game-winning goals, hat tricks, all that stuff. And so he gets Point and Konechny. And since back to John McGlynn, Matthew Schaefer is the big piece in that. A young Zach Bolduc, actually, that had a hot start to the season, now has cooled off tremendously. Roman Kantsarov, the 21-year-old Russian he is a property of the Blackhawks, who is leading the entire KHL in goals and points as well. And that's very rare as well for a 21-year-old to be leading the KHL. That's a man's league, right? And then he
big
also
time league. KHL, people that
Yep.
don't understand, the KHL is legit. If you're scoring and you're kicking ass in the KHL, like that's not a minor league hockey system. Like
Oh,
you're in the
professional
majors.
league.
Like you can absolutely be a stud in the NHL if you're crushing in the KHL.
Yeah, for sure. And what you normally see in the KHL is you're going to see guys leading the league in points or goals, and you're going to look at them, their age, and it's going to say 26, 27, 28 years old. I mean, you're just not going to see the 21-year-old actually lead the league in goals and assists and everything else. And so I'm actually looking at the points right here, and I'm just bringing up Kansarov's, but here he is. 26 games played, 29 points in 26 games, 17 goals, 12 assists, 36 PIMs as well. I mean, like, look at him, man, throwing the body around a little bit. Now, he is shooting a blistering 30% on the season. So
30%.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
that's on my free throw percentage.
yeah, I mean, shooting 30% is unbelievable high. That'll have to come down a little bit, but nevertheless, I mean, he just continues to do it. And here's what you actually like on the leaderboard for the KHL. I'm just going to go down the top 10 here, and I'm not going to say names. I'm just going to say ages: 30, 21, 32, 30, 32, 25, 28, 39, 31. You know who the 21-year-old is in there. Basically, just like a sore, like this, you could pick him out like a sore thumb. Roman Kantsarov, number 2, and the only young guy in that entire thing. Again, the Blackhawks farm system is absolutely loaded. So I do know that Gale has a little bit of remorse trading away Kantsarov, not so much Schaefer, because in our Ultra Bangers League for defensemen, Schaefer, let's say he's going to be better than what he is now. He's only actually averaging 3.9 to 4 points a game, right? So defensemen, they just don't, they got to hit, they got to block a ton to actually be valuable in this league here. So let's say Matthew Schaefer gets as good as he's ever going to get here in a couple of years. He may top out at like 4.3, 4.4%. Well, Braden Point and Konechny got plenty of years left. They can do that and exceed that by a lot, right? So it's just a matter of how much you actually put on a defenseman. But I think I look at this trade, it's really, John, rebuilding, Gale actually getting ready to win now. It's a very even trade. I like it for both parties.
I thought the same way. John originally sent to me. I was like, I think you need to ask a little bit more for getting a point. And then when they ended up putting it out there, I was like, I like that trade. Because John he's committed. He's like, I want to get young. I want to get a bunch of guys up and coming. He's basically kind of said, I'm biting the bullet the next year or two. I want to get young players. I want to get, high upside guys, and it is a good move. And then Gale has done a phenomenal job of a team he took over to rebuild that team. I mean, he's the type of guy you want in the league, right? You add a guy, goes in, and he just pounds the pavement, knocking on doors, calling on like, hey, you want to trade? You want to trade? You want to make a move? He goes, hey, I'm looking at this guy. He's texted me 4 times today already. He's like, I want McTavish. He's like, I want him now. I'm like, I know you do. I was like, I'm going to have to look at it because I don't want to give him up because the Ducks are playing so great. And I'm like, he hasn't hit his stride yet. And I'm like, they're playing so good and he hasn't even busted out yet. So I'm like, ooh. I was like, they keep this up, it could be even better. But yeah, he's made some great moves. Love some of these trades that have happened. Toes, we're coming up about the 40-minute mark. We got a few more minutes. We'll keep going. Let's talk about some other trades. You just made a trade in one of our category leagues. And
Yes.
in the same league, me and you are trying to maybe hash out a deal. Tell me about your first trade you made, and then let's live here on the air. Let's hash out maybe a possible trade.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And before we get into that, JT, and I know we just got a few minutes left here, but I want to say too, and I've had to actually explain even, my brother actually being new to fantasy, he's done a phenomenal job actually getting his team that really was a very, very poor team, very competitive, very, very fast as well by taking some of his assets, doing 2-for-1 trades as well, getting 2 players for 1 player. But he will also voice frustration to be at times about like, boy, my guys haven't done anything tonight, or they haven't done anything this week. And my response has always been, and you kind of noticed as well, JT, has been, it's a long season. It's a long season. You're going to have these ups and downs. You're going to have weeks where basically even your superstars, like, they've done nothing this week, and you look at the score sheet and you look at your app and you're like, oh yeah, this team just scored. I already know when I'm looking at it, my guy's not going to be involved in the goal and assist. You look at, yep, they're not involved, right? Because it's just one of those weeks, and it happens. You may have 2 weeks like that in a row where you're like, my guys basically have just taken off and they haven't even act like they're even playing hockey. They might as well just be skating around and doing nothing. But then you have like 3 weeks in a row where basically you go bonkers and actually go ballistic, right? It's about making the playoffs and making sure that you actually maximize your schedule, get the most starts possible at the right time. And then let luck take over, right? You gotta be lucky, and so it's a matter of just making the playoffs and then actually letting Lady Luck do its thing here. But
yeah, I totally agree with you, Toast, because I try to explain this to a bunch of friends when they first get into hockey. I'm like, and almost all my friends that get into hockey, fantasy hockey, are fantasy football players,
yeah,
and I have to explain to them fantasy football a whole lot different than fantasy hockey. Fantasy football is 13, 14 weeks, and then the 2-week playoffs. Fantasy hockey, 82 game season. You gotta be going the ebbs and flows. If these guys just crushed it every game forever, they'd be scoring 200 plus points. It just doesn't have ebbs and flows. Guys have bad weeks, they have bad months. But you can't bail on guys too quick. You can't just be like, oh, this guy's supposed to be a stud and he's having, just think about people last year when Connor Bedard was like nicked up, not playing very good, or not Connor Bedard, McDavid.
Yeah.
McDavid was nicked up, not playing great, and everybody's like, oh, I should move him. No, what are you talking about? No, don't do that unless you're getting a million players in return. So hockey is a little bit different. You definitely have to like settle a little bit. You have to keep an eye on where you can move guys, but you can't just making wholesale moves. It's not like football, you just drop a guy. Oh, he's been bad for 2 weeks. I'm dropping him. I'm picking up a new guys off free agency. You can't do that in dynasty hockey. You gotta kind of feel it out. You gotta let it go, because if you have the right players, at some point it's all going to come together. And like you said, it's all about just making the playoffs. I don't care if you're the 1 seed, the 6 seed. You just got to get into the playoffs, because once you're there, we've seen it in real life hockey. Once you're there, anything can happen. So you just got to make it that far. So a little bit of advice for me and Toast. And I'm glad Toast brought it up. Don't get too crazy here in the first month and a half of the season. Just because one of your studs hasn't produced the way you thought he would, the only thing I always think is, hey, this guy's averaging like 0.3 points a game. He's a point and a half a game scorer. That means he's going to crush down the stretch.
Yes.
Because he's going to get, if he's averaged point and a half the last 5 years, he's probably going to get to that point and a half. If he's only like averaging half a point or 0.3 points a game, the crush is coming. He's going to end up getting out there and smashing for like a month straight. So just got to be aware. But like you said earlier in the show, you also have to read the room. A guy like Roslovic, who's just been playing out of his mind, maybe one of the best 1 month stretches of his entire career. And you got to look like, he's killing it because he's on a top line because someone else is hurt. And when that guy comes back, he's probably not going to get that deployment. That's when you need to make a move. Don't go and just trade off all your best players right away because they get off to a slow start. Great analysis, Toast. Always a good thing to remind people of, especially if you're new to fantasy hockey, because it's not like football. You're like, oh, he didn't run for 100 yards. He didn't run for 100 yards. Like, I'm driving him. Like, can't do that in hockey. You got to give him some time. It's night to night.
Yes. Yep. And so I will review this trade here that I made. It is a dynasty league where we actually have. I want to say here on this one, I'm just looking at the roster right now. So we have 20. We actually have 27 players that we actually can play on any given night. You got 21 starters and you got 7 bench players, and then you have 30 minor leaguers as well. So a very, very large roster in this thing, really, really large. It's a category league. So we actually have goals, assists, shots on goal. We have hits, blocks, takeaway, giveaways, face-off one, special team points. So you get it, all of that. But I was pretty thin at goalie, and really we end up having 3 goalie categories. Really, I had Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who's actually just not even he's been hurt most of the season, but when he's been in there, been awful. I have Stuart Skinner, lots of deployment, awful, 892, and that's why Edmonton's been losing a lot of games as well. And then so I needed to make a trade because I only had these 2 guys, and I'm like, I'm losing these categories every single week, and I got a good team. I got a really, really good team. So I actually made a trade, and I moved next year's 3rd round pick in 2026, 3rd rounder, and Luke Evangelista, who is off to a really good start for Nashville, young player, 23 years old, and I get back goalie Sam Montembeault, who really has underachieved for Montreal. He's actually been splitting some time with Dobas as well. Montembeault's been maybe getting 60% of the starts. Dobas is actually get 40. But Montembeault had that unbelievable season last year, where he had 62 games played, 31 wins, a 901 save percentage, which is really, really, I'd say about right where he usually is, a 282 goal. But this year, 4-4, a bloated 361 goals against average and an 857. Like, well, Toast, why are you actually going out there and getting a goalie who actually is not doing all that well? And I'll tell you why, because I'm loaded with skaters. So I'm happy to give away a young Luke Evangelista on a Nashville team that doesn't really light the lamp and tear it up so much. Him and Matthew Wood's actually been doing a good job. And last year with Sam Montembeault's really first time starting every single game, getting 62 games started. And so that was almost kind of like, in my mind, his rookie season, right? Because it was his first time actually starting and being that number 1. I think that Montreal is a good enough team. They didn't actually show that in the last 2 nights, getting blown, I think 5-1 and then 7-0. They've now scored 12-1 in the last 2 games. But I think in the body of work, this is a team that is up and coming. And I think Montembeault is going to be a product of those wins that they're going to be getting a lot of here in the next couple of seasons. So I go get Sam Montembeau. I need goalie help, and I still need goalie help, JT. And that kind of brings us to the trade that you and I has actually been talking about.
Before we break on down our trade, I like the Montembeau trade you made. I thought it was a really good trade. Before we break down our trade, I've been getting offers here, Toast. Gail sent me. He said I need a goalie. It's the one thing on my team I'm loaded at, so that's why I'm holding them tight because I have nothing but good goalies. So he was like, "Want a goalie if you want to trade one?" I got another offer. So the Toronto Argonauts offering me Delandre from San Jose, Stamkos from Nashville, and McQueen from Anaheim, who's a minor leaguer, for Taze and Dylan Gunther at the moment. So that's the offer I got going right now. Tell me your thoughts on that real quick. I know how I think about it, but tell me your thoughts on that. Delandre from San Jose, Stamkos from Nashville, McQueen from Anaheim for Taze, and Dylan Gunther, who from my team.
So if you really look at this, JT, this is a trade. This is a Dylan Gunther trade. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
He's wanting Jonathan Taze because we're in a categories league, so we actually count faceoffs as well. Jonathan Taze has always been a guy who's well over 50% at the dot on faceoff wins. JT, I'm sure he's probably got close to 100 faceoff wins this year for you. I don't know.
He was mine. I had the number one waiver wire transaction move in the offseason, and I picked up Taze 100% because of the faceoffs. That's exactly why I grabbed him.
Yep. So a face-off specialist, I would imagine that this team actually needs some face-off help. And then he actually also wants Dylan Gunther. That's the big piece in this. Ty Delandria, he's kind of been around for a little bit. Was a pretty good prospect back in the day, but not somebody that I'm overly excited about. I really don't think that whatever. The second player in that, JT, who was the second player in that trade again?
Stamkos, obviously, past his years with Nashville. Obviously, if you're talking about Stamkos for Tampa Bay 5 years ago, yeah, definitely consider making a move. But Stamkos has struggled. And then McQueen, who's a minor leaguer for Anaheim right now. Sorry, having some technical difficulties here with the internet connection. Sorry about that. Me and Toast, our trade we were talking about in this league. I'll pull it up real quick. If you have any comments on it, let us know what you think. Obviously, we talked about it. Categories league. Toast needs goalie help. I have Hellebuck, who's obviously top goaltender in the league. He's offering me, he wants Hellebuck and Wood for Nylander and a 26 first. My team needs a lot of help in a lot of categories. My goalie situation is by far my best situation, as I have Hellebuck, Soros, Jari. I also have some of the younger guys filling in, Dobes and Tarasov. And I also have Wallstedt. So I have like a pretty deep young goalie core. He knows I love Nylander. So that one's it's enticing for me with Nylander. I like that. But I feel like I need just a bit more. for him just because Hellebuck's the number one. And I feel like I need more categories. It's probably a fairly decent trade, but I'm like if I'm giving a Hellebuck in a categories league with a bunch of spots for goalies, I feel like I gotta somehow figure out how to win other categories. So that's kind of where I'm at, Toast, as we want to talk about this one
Yes.
live on the air. That's where I'm at on this. I think Hellebuck would help you a lot. I'm not totally opposed to Moon, which kills me because I love him, and he is the best goalie in the world right now. But my situation is not great. I took over a team loaded with goalies and not much else. I got McDavid, and that is damn near it on this team.
Yep. So JT, we'll recap here. I'm asking for Hellebuck and Matthew Wood, and I'm offering Nylander and my 2026 and a loaded 2026 first round pick. And if I needed to go a little bit more, I'm sitting here and on my roster, and I'm trying to see basically who would actually be appealing to you. And I'll be honest with you, the guys who actually that would make sense for you, wanting to get a little bit younger, wanting to actually still have some getting a decent player back. I may be tipping it more in your direction here, but I would think maybe like a Brandon Hagel. And Hagel's really, really good for Tampa Bay. He's got 14 points in 16 games, 44 shots on goal, 11 hits, a .4 takeaway giveaway as well. Only 27 years old. That you're getting two good skaters on two good teams as well, a left winger and a right winger. I'm trying to think that would probably be the only other thing that would actually make sense for you and would actually make sense for me. But hey, who knows? Would that tip the scales?
Yeah, look at your lineup. That probably makes a little bit more sense. Now, Nylander, absolute stud. I love Nylander.
Yeah.
But just with the categories, the way it's working out, like I said, probably need one more guy. Obviously, you need McKinnon. You're not getting up the number one scorer in the league. Scheifele, pretty solid. If I do anything because my team needs work, I probably want to go slightly younger than him at 32. So I know you're there. The next top guys on your team, like you said, you've got Nyes at 23. That's a tough give. Keller at 27. That's a tough give. I know you love Keller. He's one of your guys. You got some really good defensemen, but this is not an ultra bangers league. It's like a decent bangers league.
Yes.
So you got Uyghur. You got some of these nice defensemen, but they're not like if we were like in a heavy bangers league, like our home league, I'd be like, ooh, give me like Nylander and Uyghur because that will score me points. But in this league, it's a little iffy. So I agree with you. I think, being in that range, like you've got Hagel, you got Jesper Bratt, like those are guys that are kind of in that range to kind of get those categories, which I have to be honest to all the viewers, categories is not my jam.
It's
you
hard.
got me in this league, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. I'll do it. It's very hard for me because my mindset is like, I want to play my best players. I don't think like, does this guy hit a lot? Does this guy only get face-offs? Does this guy win me on this? I think I just want to play the best players I can have on my team. And that's not necessarily how categories work. Sometimes you need to trade a guy that's a way better player for another guy because he's going to help you win a category every week. And that's very hard to wrap your head around as a fantasy manager, especially someone who's not used to playing category leagues. So this is something I'm definitely working my way into, trying to figure how that works out. So, but I do like what you brought up, Toast. So we are going to talk about this offline. If we make this trade, we will put it on our Twitter page. You can get me at JT Orange Toast, at Toast Clark. Please follow us at FIF Hockey. FIF Hockey. Like and subscribe. Follow us here on YouTube, all kinds of football content on top of the hockey content every Wednesday night. A ton of good shows for you, other stuff throughout the week. Please follow Fantasy and Frames. Toast, any last words for the peoples before we get out of here?
Yeah, it's been a great week of hockey so far. We're in week 6, so we're really in most leagues what would be the third, the 1/3 the way through the regular season for most leagues, almost. So it's been a hell of a first third of the season, and I can't wait for the second third here. So, and we got the Olympics coming up, JT, as well. That's going to be a ton of fun. After we had 4 nations last year and Olympics this year, I mean, it's just going to be great. So I
Toast,
can't wait.
I am
Yeah.
fired up for some Olympic shows. I'm fired up some Olympic shows. The Olympics, I have to be honest with you, is probably what got me really hardcore into hockey was
Yeah.
watching Winter Olympics and just all the countries playing hockey. I told you I am USA all the way. Sweden is my second team. I love Sweden. So many cool Swedish guys. A lot of them play for the Red Wings, play for other teams. I love Team Sweden. I'm going to break out my Team Sweden jersey and hat for the Olympic show. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything cooler than Olympic hockey. Like these dudes go all out.
Yes.
It's the best. I'm pumped. Dude, the 4 Nations was great last year.
It's amazing.
Freaking great. Olympics this year, Toast. Now you got me all fired up. I wasn't supposed to get fired up at the end of the show, but I am fired up about that. I can't wait for that.
Well, and JT, I know we got to wrap this show up, but did you like Team Canada's jerseys? I thought they were pretty cool.
So here's the thing: is a lot
Some
of
people hated them,
trashed them. I actually thought they were sweet.
I did too.
I liked the black maple leaf like popping off with the red outline. I thought it was, dude.
I did too.
Maybe it's the old school punk rocker death metal kid in me, but I was like, those are freaking awesome. I thought they were great. I loved them, and then I couldn't believe when I saw the hate on them. But I'm telling you, I'm loving the jersey releases coming out on X lately. The Slovenian team, like they just came out with theirs, super cool. Like them.
Yeah.
The Finnish team. Some people were like, yeah, I don't love them. I like the ones from the 90s earlier. And I have a 90s Sweden jersey or Finland jersey, but I do like the new ones. I thought those were cool. I'm telling you, I need a lot more money to spend because I need to buy a lot of these Olympic jerseys because they're freaking awesome. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'm pumped about it. All the jersey releases, keep them coming. You haven't seen anything from the U.S. yet, have you?
I have not. I've been checking.
So I'm hoping for something pretty cool, man. I'm hoping they come and bring it because I like a lot of what we've seen so far from the other countries.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have this is going to fall on most fantasy leagues. It's going to fall on week 16, which for a lot of leagues could be the last week of the regular season. But that last week 16 matchup for our home league, I know, is going to be a 3.5 week long matchup that ends up wrapping up the regular season because of the Olympics in there. So, man, it's going to be great. Anytime you have Olympics that's going to disrupt the season a little bit, that's a good disruptor there. And it's going to be awesome. If it's anything like the 4 Nations, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and make sure if you're in a league, especially a newer league with not a seasoned commissioner, make sure you bring that up to them because sometimes things fall through the crack. I run a ton of leagues. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I forgot to change that or adjust that. Let them know. Maybe you guys want to end the season like a week early before that. No hard feelings if you want to do that. Make it easy. Me and Toast are anti going to the last week of the season. We're almost anti going the last 2 weeks of the season. We've voiced that opinion a bunch of times because you just never know what's going to happen late in the year. But yeah, definitely make sure you keep an eye on that. And Toast, I can't wait for us to have a bunch of Olympic talk because literally that's what made me fall in love with hockey was watching Olympic hockey. Was just phenomenal. So hey,
Absolutely. And JT, we're wrapping up the show, I know, and I keep saying that, but
no, you're good.
tomorrow, make sure everybody actually knows there is a 1 o'clock Central Time game tomorrow on a Friday because Pittsburgh is facing Nashville in Stockholm, Sweden tomorrow.
Yes,
yeah, it's a
that's
1
awesome.
o'clock
So,
start. So get your
hey,
lineup
set your
set.
lineups tonight. Set your lineups tonight, or set it early in the morning. Toast, that's a great reminder. I need to get in and set my lineups tonight and make sure I'm locked in. So great call, Toast. Thanks for that last bit of information. Thanks for everyone joining us. Random Thursday night. Usually you can find us on Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Time on Fantasy and Frames, the Around the Ice show, your hockey show. Still a lot of fantasy football left in this season. So follow Fantasy and Frames for all your football content, but then check us out, Tuesday nights. We're here. We're hanging. Leave us comments. Talk to us. We're here. Throw us trade offers. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. We're in the mix. So, Toast, thanks for adjusting the schedule, being here on a Thursday night. We appreciate everybody that joined in and watched the show tonight. We will see you next Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Fantasy and Frames Around the Ice. Check you later.